Stop for a moment and listen carefully to me. Do not rush past these words. Do not treat this like another ordinary message, because I brought you here tonight for a reason. Before you clicked on this video, before your eyes saw these words, I already knew this moment would happen. I saw the heaviness in your heart. I saw the exhaustion you tried to hide from everyone around you. I saw the silent battles that nobody else understands. And now I am speaking directly to you, because I do not want you to keep carrying this pain alone any longer. You have spent so much time pretending to be strong. You smile while your heart is breaking. You tell people you are fine while your mind is filled with worry. You keep showing up for others while secretly feeling empty inside. But I know the truth about what you have been carrying. I know about the nights when sleep would not come because your thoughts would not slow down. I know about the moments when fear whispered that nothing in your life would ever change. I know about the tears you wiped away quickly so nobody would ask questions. And I need you to hear me clearly tonight. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not invisible to me. Even in the moments when you doubted my presence, I was still beside you. When you cried in silence, I heard every word your heart could not speak. When you felt weak, I held you together in ways you never realized. There were moments when you thought you would completely fall apart, but somehow you survived. That strength did not come from nowhere. I was carrying you through battles you were never meant to fight alone. My child, stop believing the lie that you have to handle everything by yourself. You were not created to live under constant fear and pressure. You were not created to wake up every morning feeling hopeless about your future. You were created to walk in peace, in purpose, and in love. But the world has exhausted your spirit. People disappointed you. Situations wounded you. Life became heavier than you expected. And slowly you started believing that this heaviness would last forever. But listen to me carefully. This season is not the end of your story. The pain you feel right now is not permanent. The confusion is not permanent. The loneliness is not permanent. I am already working in places you cannot yet see. There are doors I closed to protect you. There are people I removed because they could not go where I am leading you. There are delays that frustrated you because I was preparing something better than what you were asking for. You called some moments rejection, but many of those moments were actually protection. One day you will understand why certain things did not work out the way you planned. One day you will look back and realize I was guiding you even when life felt uncertain. But right now, I need you to trust me before you fully understand me. Faith grows in difficult seasons. Strength grows in painful seasons. Wisdom grows in waiting seasons. And although this journey has been hard, it has not been meaningless. Nothing you suffered was wasted. Every tear mattered to me. Every prayer mattered to me. Every sleepless night mattered to me. I know there were moments when you questioned your worth because of what people said about you. Some people made you feel unwanted. Some people made you feel unimportant. Some people only noticed your mistakes while ignoring your heart. But their opinion was never meant to define your identity. Your value does not come from human approval. Your value comes from the fact that I created you with purpose. You are still chosen. You are still deeply loved, and your life still carries meaning. Do not allow disappointment to harden your heart. The pain you experienced was never meant to destroy you. I will use it to strengthen you. I will use it to teach you compassion. I will use it to prepare you for the future waiting ahead of you. You keep worrying about tomorrow while forgetting that I am already there. I know the doors that will open. I know the blessings that are coming. I know the healing that is slowly unfolding inside your life right now. So stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Do not call your life ruined when I am still writing your story. There is still joy ahead of you. There is still healing ahead of you. There is still peace ahead of you. But you must stop feeding fear every single day. Fear will tell you that nothing will improve. Fear will tell you that you are stuck forever. Fear will tell you that your mistakes are too great. But fear is lying to you. I am greater than the anxiety attacking your thoughts. I am greater than the sadness draining your heart. I am greater than the confusion clouding your mind. And tonight, I am asking you to let me heal the places inside you that life has wounded. Stop running from healing. Stop hiding your pain behind distractions. Bring your heart honestly before me. Bring your exhaustion. Bring your doubts. Bring your questions. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be real with me, because healing begins when honesty replaces pretending. And I know you are tired of pretending. You are tired of acting strong when your spirit feels weak. You are tired of carrying pressure that nobody else sees. You are tired of fighting silent battles alone. But hear my voice clearly tonight. You do not have to carry this alone anymore. I am still with you. I am still guiding you. I am still protecting you. And I am still calling you toward peace. If you feel these words speaking directly to your heart right now, type, "I will trust again," in the comments as a declaration of faith over your life. And stay until the end of this journey, because these messages are meant to strengthen your spirit, guide your decisions, and help you walk through life with greater peace and wisdom. Before you leave tonight, if these words touched your heart, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need encouragement today. And if you feel happy and blessed by these words, you can support this ministry through the link given below, so more hearts around the world can continue receiving hope, healing, and strength. Never forget this truth tonight. You are still loved. You are still chosen. And I am still walking beside you. Listen to me carefully tonight. I know there were moments when you felt like giving up completely, moments when your heart became so tired that even simple things felt heavy, moments when you smiled around people while secretly wondering how much longer you could keep pretending to be okay. I saw every one of those moments. I saw the nights when you stared at the ceiling with thoughts racing through your mind. I saw the mornings when getting out of bed felt harder than anyone around you realized. I saw the disappointment you carried after prayers seemed unanswered and doors remained closed. And even when you felt abandoned, I never moved away from you. Not once. You may have believed you were walking through life alone, but I was beside you in every painful season. I was there during the heartbreak that changed you. I was there during the betrayal you never fully healed from. I was there when fear sat heavily on your chest and stole your peace. And I am still here now. The world taught you how to hide your pain. It taught you to keep functioning while silently breaking inside. It taught you to act strong so nobody would see your weakness. But I never asked you to pretend with me. I already know where you are hurting. I already know the thoughts you never say out loud. I know the questions you keep carrying in silence. Will life ever get better? Will I ever feel peace again? Will this heaviness ever leave my heart? And tonight, I want you to hear my answer clearly. Yes, this pain will not last forever. This confusion will not last forever. This season will not define the rest of your life. You are in a chapter, not the final ending. Some of you listening right now have become exhausted from trying to please everyone around you. You keep sacrificing your peace just to avoid disappointing people. You keep carrying emotional weight that was never yours to carry, and slowly, you lost yourself while trying to keep everybody else happy. But listen carefully. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will appreciate your heart. Not everyone will recognize your value. And that is why your identity cannot be built on human approval. People change. Opinions change. But my love for you has never changed. You are still worthy even after the mistakes. You are still valuable even after rejection. You are still chosen even after failure. Do not let temporary pain convince you that your future is ruined. Some things had to fall apart so better things could come together. Some people had to leave so your life could move forward. Some delays happened because you were not ready yet for what you were asking me to give you. I know you became frustrated while waiting. I know you cried over things you did not understand. But many times, what felt like rejection was actually protection. There were paths you wanted to walk that would have damaged your peace. There were opportunities that looked good on the outside, but carried hidden pain inside them. There were relationships you begged to keep while I was trying to save your heart from deeper wounds. One day you will thank me for the prayers I did not answer the way you expected. Because I can see what you cannot see. I know the future before it arrives, and I will never lead you toward destruction. My child, stop punishing yourself for your past. You keep replaying old mistakes in your mind as if shame will somehow change what already happened. But shame only traps your heart in darkness. You cannot heal while constantly attacking yourself. Learn from the past, but stop living inside it. The enemy wants you trapped in regret, because regret drains your strength and steals your hope. But I am calling you forward, not backward. There is still purpose attached to your life. There are still people you will encourage one day. There are still blessings waiting ahead of you. There are still moments of joy you have not experienced yet. Do not quit before your healing arrives. I know you feel tired. I know the waiting has been difficult. I know there are days when anxiety feels louder than peace. But I need you to keep going. Even slow progress is still progress. Even small healing matters. Even quiet faith matters. You do not need to have everything figured out right now. You simply need to keep trusting me one step at a time. Stop measuring your life against everyone around you. Comparison is exhausting your spirit. You look at others and assume they are happier, stronger, more successful, more loved. But you cannot see the hidden battles other people carry. And your assignment in life was never to become somebody else. Your journey is unique. Your timing is unique. Your growth is unique. Some flowers bloom earlier than others, but that does not make the later bloom less beautiful. Do not rush the process I am taking you through. Real healing takes time. Real growth takes time. Real peace grows slowly inside a surrendered heart. And although you cannot fully see it yet, you are growing stronger through this season. The pain did not destroy you. The heartbreak did not destroy you. The disappointment did not destroy you. You survived for a reason. And one day your story will remind somebody else not to give up on their own life. I am already turning your pain into wisdom. I am already turning your tears into strength. I am already preparing restoration in places where you only see brokenness. So tonight, breathe again. Release the pressure. Release the fear. Release the belief that everything depends entirely on you. Some battles are won not by controlling everything, but by trusting me more deeply. And right now, I am asking you to trust me again. If you believe better days are still ahead for your life, type, "I still have hope," in the comments, and let that declaration rise louder than your fear. And stay until the end of this series, because these words are meant to help heal your heart, strengthen your faith, and guide your life with wisdom and peace. Never forget this tonight. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. And I am still making a way for you. Come closer and listen to me carefully tonight. You have been carrying burdens that were never meant to stay on your shoulders this long. You wake up thinking about problems. You go to sleep worrying about tomorrow. Even during quiet moments, your mind refuses to rest because fear keeps whispering worst-case scenarios into your thoughts. And slowly, without realizing it, anxiety became normal to you. But this is not the life I created you to live. I never wanted your heart trapped in constant fear. I never wanted your spirit crushed beneath endless pressure. I never wanted you to spend your days surviving instead of truly living. Yet many of you listening right now feel emotionally exhausted. Not because you are weak, but because you have been fighting silent battles for too long without allowing yourself to truly heal. You have carried family pressure, financial stress, emotional wounds, disappointment, loneliness, fear about the future. And while carrying all of this, you kept pretending everything was fine. But I see beyond the mask. I see the hidden heaviness in your heart. I see the moments when you suddenly feel overwhelmed for no clear reason. I see the emotional exhaustion that words cannot fully explain. And tonight, I want you to stop carrying all of this alone. My child, Some of the pain inside you comes from trying to control things you were never meant to control. You keep trying to predict every outcome. You keep trying to fix everyone around you. You keep trying to solve tomorrow before tomorrow even arrives. And because of that, your mind rarely rests. But hear me carefully. Not everything depends on you. Some things must be surrendered. Some things must be placed into my hands. You cannot heal while holding on to fear every moment of the day. You cannot enjoy peace while constantly expecting disaster. And you cannot hear my voice clearly when anxiety becomes louder than faith. That is why I am calling you back into stillness, back into trust, back into peace. The world taught you to constantly hurry, to constantly compare, to constantly chase more. But rushing through life has left your spirit exhausted. You compare your life to others and suddenly feel behind. You compare your journey to someone else's success and suddenly feel like a failure. You compare your healing to someone else's happiness and suddenly lose hope. But comparison is stealing your peace. You were never meant to become somebody else. Your path is different for a reason. Your timing is different for a reason. Your story is unfolding differently because your purpose is unique. Stop dishonoring your journey by measuring it against everyone around you. Some blessings take longer because they require deeper preparation. Some seasons feel slower because roots are growing underneath the surface. And roots matter more than appearances. You keep asking why everything has taken so long. But what if this season has been preparing you instead of punishing you? What if the waiting has been building wisdom inside you? What if the delays have been protecting you from things you are not ready to handle yet? You call it delay. I call it preparation. You call it disappointment. I call it redirection. You call it failure. I call it growth. Do not judge your entire future based on one painful season. There is more ahead of you than what you have experienced so far. There are still blessings you have not seen. There are still prayers I am preparing to answer. There are still doors waiting to open at the right time. But fear has made you impatient. Fear keeps telling you that time is running out. Fear keeps convincing you that nothing will ever change. Fear keeps making you believe you are stuck forever. But fear is not speaking truth over your life. You are not stuck. You are growing. Even now, while you feel uncertain, healing is quietly happening inside you. Strength is developing inside you. Wisdom is developing inside you. And one day you will realize this difficult season taught you things comfort never could. Some of you listening tonight are emotionally drained because you keep trying to save people who refuse to change. You pour your energy into everyone else while ignoring your own soul. You keep giving until you feel empty, and then you wonder why your heart feels so tired. But listen carefully. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to protect your peace. Not every burden belongs to you. Not every battle is yours to fight. And not every relationship is healthy for your spirit. There are people who constantly drain your energy because they only bring chaos into your life. There are voices around you feeding fear instead of wisdom. There are environments damaging your peace while you keep pretending they are normal. Pay attention to what surrounds your heart, because whatever constantly enters your spirit eventually shakes your life. If you constantly feed your mind negativity, fear will grow stronger. If you constantly surround yourself with chaos, peace will feel distant. But when you begin protecting your spirit carefully, healing begins to grow again. Tonight, I need you to stop believing the lie that you must stay broken forever. You have cried long enough. You have worried long enough. You have carried this heaviness long enough. And now, I am calling you into a new season. A season of deeper peace. A season of emotional healing. A season where your heart slowly learns to breathe again. Will difficult days still come? Yes. But you will not face them alone. Will challenges still appear? Yes. But they will not destroy you. Because I am strengthening you from the inside out. Even now, while you listen to these words, hope is rising again inside your spirit. Do not ignore that feeling. That quiet stirring inside your heart is reminding you that your story is not over. You still have purpose. You still have value. You still have life ahead of you worth living. So tonight, release the pressure to control everything. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the belief that you must carry every burden alone. And trust me again, if you are ready to let go of fear and walk toward peace, type, "I release my worries," in the comments as a declaration over your life. And stay until the end of this journey, because the words ahead are meant to heal your heart, strengthen your mind, and help you walk through life with greater wisdom and peace. Never forget this tonight. You are still deeply loved. You are still being guided, and I am still making a way where you cannot yet see one. Listen closely tonight, because I need your heart to truly hear this. There were moments when you believed you had been abandoned. Moments when the pain became so heavy that you questioned whether I was even near you anymore. You prayed, but heaven felt silent. You waited, but nothing seemed to change. You cried, but nobody around you understood the depth of what you were carrying. And slowly, disappointment convinced you that you were walking through life alone. But you were never alone. Not for one moment. Not during the nights when anxiety stole your sleep. Not during the mornings when exhaustion sat heavily on your chest. Not during the heartbreak that shattered your trust. Not during the silent battles you fought behind closed doors. I was there through all of it. Even when you could not feel my presence, I was still holding you together. Pain has a way of making everything feel distant. Fear clouds your thinking. Disappointment whispers lies into your spirit. And one of the greatest lies fear tells is this: you have been forgotten. But that has never been true about you. I have watched over your life since the very beginning. I know every tear you cried. I know every hidden wound. I know every memory that still hurts when you think about it late at night. Nothing about your pain has been invisible to me. Some of you listening right now are carrying grief that nobody fully understands. You lost people you loved. You lost opportunities you prayed for. You lost versions of yourself you thought would last forever. And sometimes grief is not only about losing people. Sometimes grief comes from losing peace, losing hope, losing trust, losing the life you once imagined for yourself. But hear me carefully tonight. Just because something ended does not mean your life is over. Some endings were necessary for new beginnings to appear. Some doors closed because they could not lead you where I am taking you. And although the ending hurt deeply, it protected your future in ways you still cannot fully see. You keep replaying painful memories in your mind, wondering what you could have done differently. But I need you to stop blaming yourself for everything that went wrong. Not every broken relationship was your fault. Not every painful ending could have been prevented. Not every loss happened because you failed. Sometimes people leave because their assignment in your life was temporary. Sometimes seasons end because growth requires change. And sometimes painful transitions happen because I am removing what no longer belongs in your future. You keep mourning what left while forgetting to notice what still remains. You are still breathing. You are still standing. You are still surviving. And that means purpose is still attached to your life. My child, I know there were moments when you wanted to quit completely. Moments when you became tired of fighting battles nobody else could see. Moments when your own thoughts became your greatest struggle. But look at you now. You survived every difficult day that once made you think you would completely fall apart. You survived heartbreak. You survived rejection. You survived loneliness. You survived disappointment. And although the scars remain, so does your strength. Do not underestimate how far you have already come. You keep focusing on what is still broken while ignoring the healing that has already begun inside you. You are stronger now than you were before those painful seasons started. Wiser too, more compassionate too. Pain changed you, but it did not destroy you. And I will continue using every difficult chapter to shape wisdom, resilience, and deeper purpose inside your life. Some of you became emotionally numb because life hurt too many times in a row. You stopped expecting good things because disappointment became familiar. You stopped trusting easily because betrayal wounded your heart deeply. You stopped dreaming because fear convinced you that hope was dangerous. But I did not create you to live emotionally shut down forever. Your heart was created to experience peace again, to experience joy again, to experience love again. Healing is still possible for you, but healing begins when you stop building walls around your pain and start bringing your brokenness honestly before me. I never asked you to pretend. I never asked you to hide your weakness. I never asked you to carry everything silently. Bring your fears to me. Bring your exhaustion to me. Bring your confusion to me. You do not have to clean yourself up before coming closer to me. I already know your struggles, and I still choose to love you completely. Some people only love the version of you that benefited them, but my love for you is not based on performance. I do not leave when you struggle. I do not walk away when you feel weak. I remain. Even in your darkest moments, I remain. And tonight, I need you to remember this truth. The darkness surrounding you will not last forever. Morning always follows the longest night. Healing always begins after honesty. Peace always grows where trust is planted. And your life is still moving toward purpose, even if you cannot fully see the path yet. There are blessings ahead that will make sense of some of your painful delays. There are answers ahead that will explain some of your unanswered questions. There are moments of peace ahead that will remind you why you survived this season. So do not quit now. Do not give up on yourself now. Do not stop believing now. Because even in this difficult chapter, I am still writing something beautiful with your life. If these words are speaking directly to your spirit tonight, type, "I know you never left me," in the comments as a declaration of faith. And continue watching until the end, because the next messages are meant to strengthen your heart, heal your mind, and guide you into deeper peace and purpose. Never forget this truth tonight. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. And even in the darkness, I am still walking beside you. Tonight, I need you to slow down and truly listen to me. You have been carrying too much for too long. You carry pressure that nobody sees. You carry fear about the future. You carry guilt from the past. You carry emotional wounds that never fully healed. And because you became used to surviving this way, you stopped realizing how deeply exhausted your soul has become. But I did not create you to live constantly overwhelmed. I did not create you to wake up every day with anxiety already waiting in your mind. I did not create you to spend your entire life trapped inside stress, fear, and emotional heaviness. Yet many of you listening tonight feel tired in a way that sleep cannot fix, because this exhaustion is deeper than physical tiredness. It is emotional exhaustion, spiritual exhaustion, mental exhaustion. You have spent so much time trying to hold everything together that you forgot how to rest. You keep trying to solve every problem. You keep trying to save everyone around you. You keep trying to carry responsibilities that were never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. And slowly, the weight became too heavy. My child, hear me carefully tonight. Not every burden belongs to you. Some things must be surrendered. Some fears must be released. Some situations must be placed into my hands. Because if you continue carrying everything alone, your heart will collapse beneath pressure you were never created to handle by yourself. You keep worrying about tomorrow as if worrying will somehow protect you. But fear cannot protect you. Fear only steals your peace before problems even arrive. How many nights have you lost sleep over things that never even happened? How many times has anxiety convinced you that disaster was coming, only for you to realize later that your mind created storms bigger than reality? The enemy wants your mind trapped in fear because fear drains your strength. Fear clouds your judgment. Fear steals joy from the present moment. And fear keeps you from trusting me fully. But tonight, I am asking you to release your grip on the things you cannot control. You cannot control every outcome. You cannot control every person. You cannot control every future event. But you can trust me one step at a time. You keep asking for peace while feeding your spirit constant negativity. You surround yourself with noise all day long. Social media fills your mind with comparison. Bad news fills your heart with fear. Toxic conversations drain your energy. And then you wonder why your spirit feels restless. Protect your peace carefully. Not every voice deserves access to your mind. Not every environment deserves access to your heart. There are people around you whose chaos is slowly damaging your spirit. There are conversations you keep entertaining that are feeding anxiety instead of wisdom. There are habits in your life that are quietly stealing your emotional strength. Pay attention to what constantly enters your spirit. Because whatever repeatedly enters your heart eventually shapes your thoughts, your emotions, and your future. You cannot constantly feed our negativity and still expect peace to grow naturally inside you. You cannot constantly compare your life to others and still feel grateful for your own journey. Comparison is exhausting your soul. You look at other people and assume they are ahead of you. You see someone else succeeding and suddenly feel like your life is falling behind. You see somebody else happy and begin questioning your own worth. But you do not see the hidden battles other people carry. You only see the surface, and you were never meant to measure your journey against someone else's timeline. Your story is different. Your purpose is different. Your preparation is different. Some blessings take longer because they require deeper growth before they arrive. Stop rushing your healing. Stop rushing your progress. Stop insulting your own journey because it looks different from someone else's path. You are growing even when growth feels slow. Some of the strongest roots grow quietly underground before anything beautiful becomes visible above the surface. And right now, roots are growing inside you. Wisdom is growing inside you. Discernment is growing inside you. Strength is growing inside you. Even this painful season is shaping something valuable within your spirit. I know there are moments when you feel emotionally empty. Moments when you feel disconnected from joy. Moments when you wonder if peace will ever fully return to your life. But listen carefully tonight. This heaviness is not permanent. Your current season is not your final destination. Healing is already beginning in places you cannot yet fully see. You may still have scars, but scars do not mean healing never happened. Sometimes scars become proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you. And you did survive. You survived every painful day that once convinced you that you would never recover. You survived heartbreak. You survived disappointment. You survived betrayal. You survived loneliness. You survived fear-filled nights. And the fact that you are still here means your story still carries purpose. There are still people you will encourage one day. There are still lives your testimony will impact. There are still blessings ahead of you that you cannot imagine right now. But first, you must stop living like everything depends entirely on you. You were never meant to carry the world on your shoulders. That pressure is crushing your peace. Tonight, I want you to breathe deeply again. Release the fear. Release the pressure. Release the need to control everything. And trust me, with the future, you cannot yet see. I am already ahead of you. I already know what tomorrow holds. I already know the doors that will open. I already know the healing that is coming. And even now, while you feel uncertain, I am still guiding your life step by step. If you are ready tonight to stop carrying these burdens alone, type, "I surrender my worries," in the comments as a declaration of faith over your life. And if these messages are helping your heart heal and bringing peace into your spirit, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need encouragement tonight. And if you feel blessed by these words and want to support this ministry, the support link is given below, so these messages of hope can continue reaching hearts around the world. Stay until the end of this journey, because the next messages will continue helping you heal, grow stronger, and walk into the peace I have been calling you toward. Never forget this tonight. You are still loved. You are still being guided. And you do not have to carry this weight alone anymore. Listen to me carefully tonight, because what I am about to say will change the way you look at your struggles. The pain you went through was not meaningless. I know there were moments when you questioned why life became so difficult. You asked why certain people hurt you. You asked why doors closed unexpectedly. You asked why some prayers seemed delayed, while others appeared unanswered completely. And in your frustration, you began wondering if I had forgotten about you. But I never forgot you. Not for a single moment. Even during the hardest seasons of your life, I was still working behind the scenes in ways you could not yet understand. The problem is that pain often blinds people temporarily. When your heart is hurting, it becomes difficult to see purpose clearly. Disappointment makes you focus on what was lost instead of what is still possible. Fear convinces you that your current struggle will last forever. But hear me carefully tonight. Your pain did not come to destroy you. It came to shape you. Some lessons can only be learned through difficult seasons. Some strength only develops through pressure. Some wisdom only grows through heartbreak and waiting. And although you would never choose suffering for yourself, I can still use suffering to build something powerful inside you. Look at how much stronger you have become already. Before these painful seasons, you depended too heavily on people who could not truly carry your heart. Before these painful seasons, you ignored warning signs because you wanted certain things to work so badly. Before these painful seasons, you measured your worth through human approval. But pain forced your eyes to open. Pain revealed who truly cared about you. Pain exposed unhealthy patterns. Pain taught you discernment. Pain taught you endurance. Pain taught you that your peace is precious. And even though the process hurt deeply, you are not the same person you were before. You have grown stronger, wiser, more aware, more compassionate toward other people's struggles. The fire did not destroy you. It refined you. My child, stop seeing yourself as permanently damaged because of what you went through. Yes, you were hurt. Yes, some wounds still ache. Yes, there are memories you wish you could erase. But scars are not proof that you failed. Scars are proof that you survived. And survival matters. You keep focusing on how broken you feel while ignoring how far you have already come. There was a time when you thought you would never recover from certain losses. There was a time when you believed the sadness would completely consume you. There was a time when fear convinced you your life would never improve again. Yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still moving forward. That is not weakness. That is resilience growing inside your spirit. Some of you listening tonight are secretly angry because life did not turn out the way you expected. You imagined a different future. You imagined certain relationships lasting forever. You imagined success happening sooner. You imagined peace arriving earlier. And now disappointment has made your heart heavy. But listen carefully. Delayed does not mean denied, and difficult does not mean hopeless. There are things happening right now that you cannot fully see. While you are worrying, I am preparing. While you are waiting, I am working. While you are crying, I am strengthening you quietly from the inside out. Trust does not mean you fully understand everything. Trust means you continue walking with me even when answers have not arrived yet. And I know waiting is difficult for you. You want clarity immediately. You want breakthrough immediately. You want healing immediately. But deep transformation rarely happens overnight. Real growth takes time. Real healing takes surrender. And sometimes I allow waiting seasons because your character is still being prepared for the future you are praying for. If certain blessings arrive too early, they would crush you instead of helping you. If certain doors opened before you matured emotionally, those opportunities would damage your peace instead of strengthening your life. So do not hate the process. The process is shaping you. Even now, while you feel uncertain, important things are developing inside your spirit. Patience is developing. Discernment is developing. Emotional strength is developing. Wisdom is developing. And one day you will realize that this painful chapter carried purpose all along. You keep asking why certain people betrayed you, but some betrayals revealed who was never truly loyal. You keep asking why certain relationships ended, but some endings protected your future. You keep asking why certain plans failed, but some failures redirected you towards something better. Not every closed door is punishment. Sometimes closed doors are protection wrapped in disappointment. One day you will thank me for the doors that did not open, because I can see dangers you cannot see. I know what would have harmed your spirit. I know what would have distracted your purpose, and I will never lead you into destruction. The world around you may feel unstable right now. People are anxious, confused, emotionally exhausted, but you do not need to live trapped in fear like the world around you. Your peace does not have to depend on circumstances. Your strength does not have to depend on human approval. And your future is not determined by your current emotions. You are still becoming who I created you to be. Do not quit during the process. Do not give up during the preparation season. Do not abandon hope while healing is still unfolding inside you. You are closer to breakthrough than you realize. And even now, I am turning painful experiences into wisdom that will help guide your future. One day, your story will encourage somebody else who feels hopeless. One day, your survival will remind another hurting person not to give up. Nothing you endured was wasted. Nothing. If you believe your pain is being turned into purpose, type, "My story still matters," in the comments tonight. And continue listening until the end, because the next words are meant to strengthen your spirit, restore your hope, and help you walk through life with deeper faith and wisdom. Never forget this truth tonight. The pain did not destroy you. You survived for a reason. And I am still creating something beautiful from your story. Come closer tonight and listen carefully to me. I know you have been asking the same question over and over again. Why is everything taking so long? Why has healing taken so long? Why has the breakthrough taken so long? Why has the answer to your prayer not arrived yet? You thought things would change by now. You thought the pain would be gone by now. You thought the door would have opened already. But instead, you found yourself stuck in another waiting season. And slowly, frustration began exhausting your spirit. My child, I know waiting is difficult for you. Especially when you are tired, especially when your heart has already carried disappointment for a long time, especially when you watch other people moving forward while you still feel uncertain about your own future. But hear me carefully tonight. Waiting does not mean I have abandoned your life. Silence does not mean I stopped working. And delay does not mean denial. There are things happening behind the scenes that you cannot fully see yet. While you are waiting, I am preparing. While you are confused, I am arranging details. While you are praying, I am building strength inside you that will help you carry the future you are asking for. You want immediate answers because pain makes you impatient, but some blessings require preparation before they arrive. If certain doors open too early, they would overwhelm you instead of helping you. If certain opportunities came before your heart was healed, they would create greater damage inside your life. Timing matters more than you realize. And although waiting feels uncomfortable, the waiting season is shaping you in important ways. You are learning patience. You are learning discernment. You are learning how to trust me instead of relying only on your own understanding. And those lessons will protect your future one day. You keep comparing your timeline to everybody else around you. You see people getting married while you still feel lonely. You see people succeeding while you still feel stuck. You see people celebrating breakthroughs while you are still praying for yours. And comparison is slowly stealing your peace. But stop measuring your life against someone else's journey. You do not know the full story behind their path, and they do not know the full story behind yours. Your life is unfolding differently because your purpose is different. Some people bloom quickly, others bloom slowly but deeply. Do not mistake slow growth for failure. Some of the strongest foundations take longer to build. The tree with the deepest roots survives the hardest storms. And right now, roots are growing inside you, even if nobody else can see it yet. You keep asking why certain prayers remain unanswered. But sometimes the answer is not. No. Sometimes the answer is not yet. And not yet can protect you more than an immediate yes. There were moments in your past when you begged for things that later would have destroyed your peace. There were relationships you desperately wanted to keep that would have damaged your future. There were opportunities you thought you needed that actually would have distracted your purpose. But because you could not see the danger ahead, you interpreted closed doors as rejection, when many of those closed doors were actually protection. I know disappointment made your heart tired. I know repeated delays made you question whether anything would ever change. But hear me clearly tonight. I have not forgotten your prayers. I have not ignored your tears. And I have not stopped working in your life. Some answers are taking longer because your future is larger than you realize. Preparation matters when purpose is great. Do not despise the season that is strengthening your character, because character will carry you further than talent ever could. There are people listening tonight who secretly feel ashamed because life did not happen according to their timeline. You feel behind. You feel late. You feel like everybody else is moving forward while you remain stuck in place. But stop speaking hopelessness over your own future. You are not behind my plan for your life. You are not forgotten, and you are not running out of time. Fear keeps convincing you that it is too late for you, but fear does not know your future. I do. And your story is still unfolding. The enemy wants you discouraged because discouragement weakens your faith. Discouragement makes people quit too early. Discouragement makes people abandon hope while breakthrough is still close. But I need you to hold on a little longer. Do not give up during the waiting season. Do not quit while healing is still happening inside you. Do not walk away while I am still preparing blessings you cannot yet see. One day you will understand why the process took so long. One day you will realize the waiting protected you from things that would have harmed your peace. One day you will thank me for not rushing your story, because rushed blessings often become burdens, and I care too much about your future to give you things before the right time arrives. You are growing in ways you cannot fully recognize yet. Your mind is becoming wiser. Your heart is becoming stronger. Your spirit is becoming more discerning. And even now, while you feel uncertain, your life is still moving forward step by step. Trust me in the waiting. Trust me in the silence. Trust me when answers feel delayed. Because I can see the full picture while you only see one chapter at a time. The story is not over, and your waiting season will not last forever. If you believe something good is still being prepared for your life, type, "I trust your timing" in the comments tonight. And continue watching until the end, because these words are meant to restore your hope, strengthen your spirit, and remind you that your future is still filled with purpose. Never forget this tonight. The waiting season is not punishment, it is preparation. And I am still working on your behalf even when you cannot yet see it. Tonight, I need you to hear something your heart has been needing for a long time. You are exhausting yourself, trying to keep everyone around you happy. You say yes when your spirit is begging for rest. You carry emotional burdens that were never yours to carry. You stay silent about your own pain because you are afraid of disappointing people. And slowly, while trying to take care of everyone else, you began neglecting your own soul. But listen carefully tonight. You cannot keep pouring from an empty heart. You cannot continue sacrificing your peace just to avoid conflict. And you cannot build a healthy life while constantly abandoning yourself for the approval of others. My child, I never asked you to destroy your own well-being in order to earn love. Real love does not require you to lose yourself completely. Yet many of you listening tonight feel trapped by expectations, family expectations, Relationship expectations, social expectations, the pressure to always appear strong, the pressure to always be available, the pressure to always have everything together. And that pressure is quietly crushing your spirit. You have become so focused on not disappointing people that you forgot what peace even feels like. Some of you are carrying relationships that drain your soul daily. You stay connected to people who constantly bring confusion, negativity, and emotional chaos into your life. And because your heart is kind, you keep tolerating things that are slowly damaging your peace. But kindness does not mean allowing yourself to be destroyed emotionally. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to say no to environments that constantly wound your spirit. Not every person deserves unlimited access to your heart, and not every relationship is healthy simply because it has existed for a long time. Some people only call you when they need something. Some people drain your energy while offering nothing but stress in return. Some people take advantage of your compassion because they know you struggle to walk away. And tonight, I need you to stop ignoring the exhaustion inside your spirit. Pay attention to how people affect your peace, because the wrong voices can slowly poison your thinking. The wrong environments can slowly damage your confidence, and the wrong relationships can quietly pull you away from the life I am trying to build within you. You keep trying to rescue people who refuse to change. You keep trying to fix situations that only I can truly heal. And because of that, you carry stress that was never yours to carry in the first place. You are not responsible for saving everyone. You are not responsible for controlling everybody's choices. And you are not failing simply because someone else refuses to grow. Some people will misunderstand you when you start protecting your peace. Some people will call you distant when you stop allowing emotional manipulation. Some people will become upset when they can no longer use your kindness selfishly. But protecting your spirit is not selfish. Protecting your peace is wisdom. I know you fear disappointing people. I know you fear being misunderstood. I know you fear losing relationships. But hear me carefully tonight. Losing yourself is far more dangerous than losing unhealthy approval. You were not created to live emotionally drained every single day. You were created to live with peace, with purpose, with emotional freedom. And that freedom begins when you stop making people your source of identity. Human approval changes constantly. One moment, people celebrate you. The next moment, they criticize you. If your worth depends on public opinion, your peace will always remain unstable. That is why your identity must be rooted deeper than human validation. Your value comes from me, not from how many people support you, not from how many people stay, not from how many people understand your journey. You are valuable because I created you intentionally. You are worthy because my love for you has never depended on perfection. Stop trying to earn what I already freely give you. You do not need to perform constantly to deserve love. You do not need to prove your worth every day. You do not need to destroy yourself emotionally, trying to keep everybody satisfied. Rest. Breathe. Slow down. Some of you listening tonight have not truly rested emotionally in a very long time. Even during quiet moments, your mind stays overwhelmed because you are carrying responsibilities, expectations, and worries nonstop. But your soul needs rest too. Not only physical rest, emotional rest, spiritual rest, mental rest. That is why I keep calling you back into stillness, back into prayer, back into moments where your heart can breathe again without constant pressure. The world around you glorifies busyness, but constant busyness without peace eventually destroys the soul. And many people are smiling publicly while privately collapsing emotionally. I do not want that life for you. I want you whole. I want you healthy emotionally. I want your spirit free from constant anxiety and exhaustion. But you must stop building your life around pleasing everyone else. Some people will never fully understand your heart, no matter how much you sacrifice for them. And that is okay. You are not called to live trapped in endless people-pleasing. You are called to live truthfully, wisely, and peacefully. The right people will respect your boundaries. The right people will value your heart. The right people will not require you to destroy yourself in order to keep them close. Tonight, I need you to choose peace over pressure. Choose healing over pretending. Choose wisdom over emotional exhaustion. Because your heart matters too. Your peace matters too. And your emotional well-being matters too. You have spent long enough ignoring your own pain while trying to carry everybody else's problems. Now it is time to heal. Now it is time to breathe again. Now it is time to let go of relationships, habits, and expectations that are crushing your spirit. If you are ready tonight to stop losing yourself trying to please everyone, type "I choose peace over pressure" in the comments and stay until the end of this journey. Because these messages are meant to restore your heart, strengthen your spirit, and help you build a life filled with wisdom, healing, and peace. Never forget this tonight. You do not have to carry everyone's expectations forever. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to rest. And you are still deeply loved, exactly where you are right now. Tonight, I want to speak directly to the battle happening inside your mind, because many of you listening right now look calm on the outside, while fighting storms internally every single day. Your thoughts have become heavy. Fear keeps replaying worst-case scenarios. Anxiety keeps convincing you that something bad is about to happen. Overthinking keeps stealing your peace, even during moments that should feel calm. And slowly, your own mind became a place where rest feels difficult to find. But hear me carefully tonight. You were never created to live trapped inside constant mental chaos. I know there are nights when your thoughts become louder than your faith. I know there are moments when one negative thought suddenly turns into 10 more. I know how exhausting it feels to carry invisible battles nobody else fully understands. Some people around you only see your smile, but I see the pressure hidden behind it. I see how hard you try to stay strong. I see how often you quietly fight fear while pretending everything is okay. And tonight, I need you to stop believing every fearful thought that enters your mind. Not every thought speaks truth. Fear lies. Anxiety exaggerates. Overthinking creates storms larger than reality. And the enemy often attacks your mind first because confused thoughts eventually weaken peace, confidence, and hope. You keep imagining disasters before they happen. You keep preparing emotionally for rejection before conversations even begin. You keep expecting heartbreak before love even has a chance to grow. And because fear has been repeated for so long, your nervous system became used to survival mode. But survival mode is not where I want you to stay forever. You deserve peace too. You deserve rest too. You deserve freedom from constant mental exhaustion. My child, your mind needs healing just as much as your heart does. You cannot constantly feed your spirit fear and expect peace to grow naturally. Pay attention to what you allow into your mind daily. Some of the content you consume is feeding anxiety. Some of the conversations you entertain are strengthening negativity. Some of the people around you constantly speak fear, doubt, and hopelessness into your spirit. And slowly, those voices became louder than my voice inside your heart. That is why protecting your mind matters deeply. What repeatedly enters your thoughts eventually shapes your emotions, and your emotions eventually shape your decisions. The enemy knows this. That is why fear tries to become your constant companion, because fearful thinking keeps you distracted from purpose. Fear keeps you emotionally drained. Fear keeps you too exhausted to recognize the blessings still surrounding your life. But tonight, I am calling your mind back into peace, not temporary distraction, real peace. The kind of peace that remains steady even when circumstances feel uncertain. You keep waiting for all problems to disappear before allowing yourself to feel calm. But peace does not come from perfect circumstances. Peace comes from trusting me even while uncertainty still exists. And I know trusting is difficult for you sometimes, especially after disappointment, especially after heartbreak, especially after prayers seem delayed. But listen carefully. The future is not as hopeless as fear keeps telling you. You are not doomed to repeat painful seasons forever. You are not trapped permanently inside anxiety. Healing is possible for your mind too. But healing begins when you stop agreeing with every fearful thought. You must learn to challenge the lies fear whispers into your spirit. When fear says, "Nothing will ever change," remember that your story is still unfolding. When fear says, "You are alone," remember that I have remained beside you through every battle. When fear says, "You will never recover," remember how many painful seasons you already survived before. You are stronger than your anxious thoughts realize, and I am stronger than the fears attacking your mind. Some of you listening tonight secretly feel ashamed because your mind feels exhausted. You wonder why peace feels difficult to maintain. You wonder why anxiety keeps returning. But hear me carefully. Struggling mentally does not make you weak spiritually. You are human. You have endured emotional wounds, stress, disappointment, pressure, and heartbreak. Of course, your mind became tired. Stop condemning yourself for needing healing. Stop attacking yourself because you are struggling. Healing takes time. And your mind deserves patience too. I know you want immediate relief. I know you want all fear to disappear instantly. But healing often happens gradually. One peaceful decision at a time. One surrendered prayer at a time. One hopeful thought at a time. Do not quit on yourself while healing is still unfolding inside you. There are still beautiful moments ahead that your anxiety cannot currently imagine. There are still peaceful seasons ahead waiting for you. There are still prayers waiting to be answered. And one day you will realize that the battles in your mind did not destroy you. They taught you how deeply you need peace, rooted in me, rather than in temporary circumstances. Tonight, I want you to stop carrying mental pressure alone. Bring your anxious thoughts honestly before me. Bring your fears honestly before me. Bring your exhaustion honestly before me. You do not need to pretend with me. I already know where you are struggling. And I still love you completely. You are not broken beyond healing. You are not weak because your mind feels tired. You are simply carrying battles that became too heavy to fight alone. But you are not alone anymore. I am still with you, still strengthening you, still calming storms inside your heart, even when you cannot yet fully feel it. And little by little, peace will return again. If you are ready tonight to release fear and protect your peace, type, "My mind will heal," in the comments. And continue staying until the end, because these words are meant to strengthen your spirit, calm your thoughts, and help you walk through life with greater peace, wisdom, and emotional freedom. Never forget this tonight. Your anxious thoughts are not your identity. Fear does not own your future. And I am still bringing peace back into your life. Tonight, I need you to listen with your whole heart, because this is the moment where something begins to change inside you. For too long, you have been living beneath the weight of things that were never meant to control your life forever. Fear held you back. Past mistakes haunted your thoughts. Pain convinced you to stay guarded. Disappointment made you stop expecting good things. And slowly, without realizing it, you became trapped inside emotional chains that kept your spirit from fully living again. But tonight, I am telling you clearly, those chains will not define the rest of your story. You have spent years replaying painful memories, years doubting yourself, years expecting rejection before love even arrives, years believing you are not enough because of things people said about you. And every time those lies repeated in your mind, They built invisible prisons around your heart. But hear me carefully tonight. You were never created to live trapped by fear. You were never created to spend your entire life chained to your past. And you were never created to carry shame forever. I know some of you still secretly blame yourselves for things that happened years ago. You revisit old mistakes constantly. You replay conversations you wish had gone differently. You wonder whether your life would feel better if you had made different choices. But no amount of guilt can rewrite yesterday. And constantly punishing yourself only keeps your wounds open longer. My child, there is a difference between learning from the past and living imprisoned by it. Yes, mistakes happened. Yes, certain choices hurt you. Yes, some seasons left scars. But your past is not stronger than my ability to restore your future. Stop identifying yourself by your worst moments. You are more than your failures, more than your heartbreak, more than your trauma, more than your fear. Some of you became so familiar with pain that peace now feels unfamiliar. You became used to chaos, used to anxiety, used to emotional survival mode. And because struggle lasted so long, part of you stopped believing true healing was even possible anymore. But healing is possible. Freedom is possible. Peace is possible. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because I am teaching your heart how to live differently. The enemy wants you emotionally chained to bitterness, because bitterness slowly poisons peace. The enemy wants you chained to shame, because shame keeps people hiding from healing. The enemy wants you chained to fear, because fearful people rarely walk boldly into purpose. But tonight, I am calling you out of emotional captivity, out of hopelessness, out of constant self-hatred, out of the belief that your life can never change. Your story is not finished yet. There are still chapters ahead filled with healing, wisdom, peace, and purpose. But first, some chains must break. The chain of believing you are unworthy. The chain of believing everybody will leave you. The chain of believing your future is ruined. The chain of constantly expecting disappointment. The chain of comparing your life to everybody else around you. Those chains are exhausting your soul, and they are keeping you from fully stepping into the peace I have been trying to lead you toward. You keep asking why you feel emotionally stuck, but sometimes you cannot move forward while still holding tightly to old pain. You cannot heal while feeding bitterness daily. You cannot experience peace while agreeing with fear every moment. And you cannot fully grow while constantly speaking hopelessness over your own future. Your words matter more than you realize. The way you speak about yourself matters. The way you think about your future matters. Some of you speak over your lives as if defeat is guaranteed. You say things like, "Nothing ever works out for me. I will probably fail again. I will never heal. I will always be lonely." But those words are planting hopelessness into your spirit. Tonight, I need you to start speaking differently. Not because denial changes reality, but because faith changes perspective. Instead of saying, "I will never heal," begin saying, "Healing is already beginning inside me." Instead of saying, "My life is ruined," begin saying, "My story is still unfolding." Instead of saying, "Nothing will change," begin saying, "I believe better days are still ahead." Words shape atmosphere, and hopeless words create hopeless environments inside the mind. I know life wounded you deeply. I know trust became difficult after betrayal. I know disappointment made your heart cautious. But do not allow painful experiences to permanently harden your spirit. There is still goodness ahead for you. There are still genuine people ahead for you. There are still moments of peace waiting ahead for you. And I do not want fear stealing those future blessings from your life before they even arrive. You are not too damaged to rebuild. You are not too broken to heal. And you are not too far gone to begin again. Even now, while you listen to these words, chains are beginning to loosen inside your spirit. The heaviness is beginning to lift. The hopelessness is beginning to weaken. And little by little, your heart is remembering what hope feels like again. That is not accidental. That is healing beginning quietly inside you. Do not ignore it. Do not run back toward the darkness you already prayed to escape. Do not keep feeding habits, thoughts, and relationships that destroy your peace. Choose healing intentionally. Choose growth intentionally. Choose peace intentionally. And understand this clearly tonight. Freedom is not a one-time feeling. Freedom is a daily decision. A decision to stop agreeing with lies. A decision to stop living trapped in fear. A decision to trust me more than your anxious thoughts. You are stronger than you think, because I am strengthening you every step of the way. And one day you will look back at this season and realize the chains truly did break. You survived what once controlled you. You healed from what once crushed you. And you became stronger because you refused to give up. If you are ready tonight to leave fear, shame, and hopelessness behind, type, "I choose freedom," in the comments. And if these messages are helping heal your spirit, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need encouragement tonight. And if you feel blessed by these words and want to support this ministry, the support link is available below so more lives can continue receiving hope, peace, and healing. Stay until the end of this journey, because the next messages will continue guiding your heart toward restoration, strength, and deeper peace. Never forget this tonight. The chains are breaking, your healing is beginning, and your future is still filled with purpose. Tonight, I need you to hold on to hope a little longer, because even though you feel tired, discouraged, and emotionally drained, you are much closer to breakthrough than you think. I know there were moments recently when you almost gave up completely. Moments when the waiting felt endless. Moments when disappointment whispered that nothing in your life would ever change. You prayed, you waited, you trusted, and yet some doors still remained closed. Some answers still did not arrive. Some pain still followed you into another season. And slowly, your heart became weary. But hear me carefully tonight. Do not mistake delay for abandonment. Just because you cannot see movement yet does not mean I am not working behind the scenes. Seeds grow underground long before they become visible above the surface. And right now, even in this difficult season, things are growing inside your life that you cannot fully see yet. Strength is growing. Discernment is growing. Emotional healing is growing. And your breakthrough is growing too. The enemy wants you discouraged, because discouragement makes people quit right before change begins. Fear wants you exhausted, because exhausted people stop believing good things are possible. But I need you to keep holding on, not because the process is easy, but because your story is not finished yet. Some of you listening tonight secretly feel ashamed because you thought you would be further ahead by now. You imagined your life differently. You thought healing would happen faster. You thought success would arrive sooner. You thought certain prayers would already be answered. And now frustration is trying to convince you that you failed somehow. But listen carefully. Growth is not always visible immediately, and progress is not always loud. Some of the greatest transformations happen quietly over time. You are healing in ways you do not even fully recognize yet. You respond differently than before. You notice warning signs more clearly than before. You protect your peace more carefully than before. You recover from emotional pain faster than before. That is growth. Do not overlook small healing simply because you are waiting for dramatic change. Even little progress matters deeply. My child, some of the pressure you feel right now comes from constantly focusing on what has not happened yet. You keep staring at what is missing, what is delayed, what feels unfinished. And because of that, you are missing the evidence that I have already been carrying you through this season. Look at how far you have already come. There was a time when certain pain completely controlled your emotions. There was a time when anxiety consumed your entire day. There was a time when hopelessness felt stronger than faith. Yet here you are, still fighting, still praying, still searching for healing. That means strength is already alive inside you. Do not call yourself weak while surviving battles that once nearly destroyed you. You are stronger than you realize. And even now, while you feel uncertain, I am preparing things ahead of you. Some doors are opening slowly because timing matters. Some blessings are arriving carefully because your heart is still healing. Some opportunities are delayed because preparation is still happening behind the scenes. I know waiting feels uncomfortable, but rushed blessings often become burdens. And I care too much about your peace to give you things before the right season arrives. You keep asking me for clarity while I am teaching you trust. You keep asking for certainty while I am building faith. You keep asking for immediate answers while I am developing patience inside your spirit. And one day you will understand why this process mattered so much. Because the future you are walking toward requires a stronger version of you than the person you used to be. That stronger version is being formed right now, through every delay, through every lesson, through every difficult season you survived. Nothing has been wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your prayers, not your heartbreak. I am using all of it to shape your future. There are still beautiful things ahead of you that your current emotions cannot fully imagine. There are still moments of peace waiting ahead, still laughter waiting ahead, still healing waiting ahead, still purpose waiting ahead. And when breakthrough finally arrives, you will realize the waiting season strengthened you more than you knew. Some of you listening tonight are standing on the edge of giving up. You are emotionally exhausted, tired of hoping, tired of trying, tired of fighting internal battles nobody else fully sees. But hear my voice clearly tonight. Do not quit now. You did not survive everything just to stop here. You did not come this far to remain trapped in hopelessness forever. You are closer than you realize. The healing is closer than you realize. The peace is closer than you realize. The answered prayer is closer than you realize. But fear keeps trying to blind you to progress. Fear only wants you focused on what still hurts. While I want you to notice how much strength has already grown inside you. You are becoming more resilient, more discerning, more emotionally mature, more spiritually aware. The process is changing you. And although growth feels uncomfortable sometimes, it is preparing you for the next chapter ahead. Do not let temporary discouragement destroy long-term purpose. Do not let emotional exhaustion convince you your future is hopeless. The story is still unfolding, and I am still guiding every step. Tonight I need you to trust me one more time. Trust me when you cannot fully see the outcome yet. Trust me when emotions feel unstable. Trust me when answers seem delayed. Because I can see the full picture while you only see this current chapter. And this chapter is not the ending. If you still believe breakthrough is coming for your life, type, "I will keep believing" in the comments tonight. And stay until the end of this journey. Because these messages are meant to strengthen your spirit, restore your hope, and remind you that your future is still filled with purpose and peace. Never forget this tonight. You are not stuck forever. Your breakthrough is still coming. And I am still working behind the scenes even when you cannot yet see it. Tonight, I need you to be honest with yourself. There are things in your life that I already tried to pull you away from, yet part of you keeps wanting to go back. Back to unhealthy relationships. Back to destructive habits. Back to environments that damaged your peace. Back to patterns that once left your heart broken and exhausted. And every time you return to those things, your spirit becomes heavier again. My child, not everything familiar is healthy for you. Sometimes people return to pain simply because pain feels familiar. Sometimes people return to unhealthy situations because healing feels uncomfortable at first. And sometimes loneliness makes you miss people who were never truly good for your soul. But hear me carefully tonight. Do not reopen doors that I closed. to protect your future. There are relationships you cried over losing that were quietly destroying your peace while they remained in your life. There are habits you keep excusing that are slowly draining your spirit. There are environments that make your anxiety worse while you continue pretending they are harmless. And because part of you fears change, you keep revisiting things I already tried to rescue you from. But I did not remove certain things from your life to punish you. I removed them to protect you. I know some endings hurt deeply. I know some separations felt unbearable. I know some habits became emotional comfort during painful seasons, but comfort is not always healing. Sometimes what comforts you temporarily is quietly destroying you long term. You keep asking me for peace while holding on to things that steal peace from your spirit daily. And tonight, I need you to stop ignoring the warning signs inside your heart. You already know what drains your soul. You already know what constantly triggers anxiety, confusion, and emotional heaviness. You already know which people repeatedly pull you away from healing. But because your heart is attached emotionally, letting go feels difficult. I understand that. Healing often requires separation before restoration can fully begin. And separation hurts when your heart became emotionally connected to unhealthy things. But listen carefully. You cannot heal fully while constantly returning to what wounded you. You cannot rebuild peace while feeding the same chaos repeatedly. And you cannot move forward while emotionally chained to your past. Some of you listening tonight keep returning to people who only value you when you are convenient for them. They disappear when you need support. They drain your energy. They manipulate your kindness. They leave you emotionally exhausted. Yet you keep reopening the door because part of you hopes they will finally become different. But not everybody changes simply because you love them deeply. And your love alone cannot heal someone unwilling to grow. Stop sacrificing your emotional health, trying to rescue people who refuse to change. You are not responsible for fixing everyone. You are not responsible for carrying everyone's brokenness. And you are not failing simply because somebody else refuses healing. Some people can only change when they decide to face truth honestly themselves. I know letting go feels painful. I know walking away feels difficult. I know boundaries make you feel guilty sometimes. But protecting your peace is not selfish. Protecting your healing is wisdom, because the wrong people can delay your growth for years if you keep allowing them unlimited access to your spirit. The enemy often keeps people trapped, not through dramatic destruction, but through repeated unhealthy cycles. Cycles of returning to toxic relationships. Cycles of negative thinking. Cycles of emotional self-destruction. Cycles of fear and hopelessness. And over time, those cycles slowly steal peace, confidence, and joy. But tonight, I am calling you out of those cycles, out of emotional captivity, out of repeated self-destruction, out of environments that are crushing your spirit. Some of you already know exactly what I am talking about right now, because deep inside, your heart has been warning you for a long time. You feel uneasy after certain conversations. You feel emotionally drained around certain people. You feel distant from peace when you return to old habits. Those feelings are not random. Pay attention to what repeatedly steals your peace. Your spirit recognizes danger before your emotions fully accept it sometimes. And tonight I need you to trust the wisdom growing inside you. Not every open door should be walked through again. Not every old connection deserves renewed access to your life. Not every familiar place deserves your return. You keep thinking healing means revisiting everything that hurt you. But sometimes healing means finally letting go completely. Not with hatred, not with bitterness, but with wisdom. You can forgive people without reopening unhealthy doors. You can love people from a distance when closeness destroys your peace. And you can release what no longer belongs in your life without carrying guilt forever. My child, I want more for you than endless emotional cycles. I want peace for your mind, peace for your heart, peace for your future. But peace often requires difficult decisions. You cannot keep choosing chaos while praying for calmness, and you cannot keep feeding destruction while asking me for restoration. Tonight is the moment to choose differently. Choose healing over familiarity. Choose peace over unhealthy attachment. Choose growth over emotional cycles. Choose wisdom over temporary comfort. I know it feels difficult now, but one day you will thank me for the things you finally released, because what waits ahead for you is healthier than what you keep trying to return to. Your future deserves a healed version of you, not a version still trapped in old cycles. And healing begins the moment you stop running back toward what already wounded your spirit. If you are ready tonight to finally let go of unhealthy cycles, type "I choose healing over the past" in the comments. And if these messages are helping strengthen your heart, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need encouragement tonight. And if you feel blessed by these words and want to support this ministry, the support link is available below so more hearts can continue receiving hope, healing, and peace. Stay until the end of this journey, because the next messages will continue guiding you toward emotional freedom, wisdom, and restoration. Never forget this tonight. I did not rescue you from darkness just for you to return to it again. Your healing matters, your peace matters, and your future is worth protecting. Tonight, I need you to listen very carefully, because many of you have been fighting a silent war against yourselves. You speak kindly to others while speaking harshly to yourself. You encourage everybody else while secretly tearing yourself apart internally. You forgive other people's mistakes while replaying your own failures again and again in your mind. And slowly, self-doubt became the voice you hear most often. But hear me clearly tonight. You were never meant to live constantly doubting your worth. I know what people said about you. I know some words wounded you deeply. Some people made you feel unwanted. Some people made you feel invisible. Some people treated you as if your heart did not matter. And over time, those painful experiences became internal beliefs. Now, you question yourself constantly. You second-guess your value. You compare yourself to everyone around you. You wonder whether you are truly enough. But tonight, I need you to stop building your identity around human opinions. People can only see pieces of you. I see the whole story. I see your kindness, even when others overlook it. I see how hard you try, even when nobody acknowledges your effort. I see the battles you fight silently every single day. I see the strength it takes for you to keep going while carrying emotional pain nobody fully understands. And I need you to understand this truth deeply tonight. Your worth was never determined by how poorly someone else treated you. The way people handled your heart says more about them than it says about your value. Some people hurt you because they were wounded themselves. Some people failed to appreciate you because they lacked emotional maturity. Some people walked away because they were not meant to remain part of your future. But none of those things changed your worth. You are still valuable, still chosen, still deeply loved. My child, stop talking yourself out of the future I'm trying to lead you toward. Fear already attacks your confidence enough without you joining it. Every time you constantly repeat things like, "I am not good enough. I always fail. Nobody truly cares about me. I will never become anything meaningful." You strengthen hopelessness inside your spirit, and hopelessness slowly blinds people to the beauty still possible ahead of them. But your life is not hopeless. Your story is not meaningless, and your future is not ruined. Some of you listening tonight secretly feel insecure because life did not unfold the way you expected. You compare your journey to other people constantly. You look at someone else's success and suddenly feel behind. You look at someone else's relationship and suddenly feel unworthy. You look at someone else's confidence and suddenly question yourself. But comparison is stealing your peace. You were never created to copy another person's journey. Your path is unique. Your growth is unique. And your purpose cannot be measured against somebody else's life. Some flowers bloom earlier, others bloom later. But late blooming does not make the flower less beautiful. Stop dishonoring your journey because it looks different from someone else's timeline. You are growing in ways you cannot fully see yet. There are strengths developing inside you because of the pain you survived. There is wisdom developing inside you because of the mistakes you learned from. There is compassion developing inside you because you know what heartbreak feels like. Nothing you endured was wasted. Even your painful seasons are becoming part of the wisdom that will guide your future. The enemy wants you trapped in insecurity because insecure people shrink themselves. They hide their gifts. They silence their voice. They settle for less than what they deserve. But I did not create you to live hidden beneath fear and self-hatred forever. You have gifts inside you, purpose inside you, light inside you, and the world needs the healing, wisdom, and compassion your story will carry one day. Do not let insecurity bury what I placed inside your life. I know you still have flaws. I know you still make mistakes sometimes, but perfection was never the requirement for being loved. You keep waiting until you feel perfect before believing you deserve peace. But peace begins when you finally understand that my love for you was never based on flawless performance. You do not need to earn love through exhaustion. You do not need to prove your value every single day. You do not need to destroy yourself emotionally trying to become worthy. You are already loved, already seen, already chosen. And tonight, I need you to stop fighting yourself constantly. Speak to yourself with grace. Speak to yourself with patience. Healing becomes harder when your own thoughts constantly attack you. There are already enough painful voices in the world. Do not become another painful voice against yourself. Instead of constantly focusing on your weaknesses, start noticing how much strength already exists inside you. You survived seasons that once nearly destroyed you. You kept going even when life became emotionally overwhelming. You are still searching for healing even after disappointment tried to convince you to give up. That is strength. That is resilience. And that strength will carry you into the next chapter ahead. One day you will realize that the things you hated most about yourself were often the places where healing, compassion, and wisdom were quietly growing. Do not reject yourself while I am still rebuilding you. You are a work in progress, not a finished story. And progress takes time. Tonight, I want you to stop agreeing with every negative thought about yourself. Stop speaking defeat over your future. Stop believing you are permanently broken because your healing is already unfolding one step at a time. And even now, while you feel uncertain, I am still shaping something beautiful inside your life. If you are ready tonight to stop doubting yourself and start walking in healing, type "I am still chosen" in the comments and continue staying until the end, because these messages are meant to strengthen your confidence, restore your peace, and remind you that your life still carries deep purpose. Never forget this tonight. You are not worthless. You are not forgotten. And you are far more valuable than your fears have allowed you to believe. Tonight, I need you to breathe deeply and listen carefully to me. You have been trying to control too much for too long. You try to control outcomes. You try to control people's feelings. You try to control the future before it even arrives. And because you cannot fully control any of those things, your heart stays trapped in constant stress and anxiety. But hear me clearly tonight. Not everything is yours to carry. Not everything is yours to fix. And not everything is yours to understand immediately. Some things must simply be trusted. I know why you struggle to let go. You were hurt before. Disappointment made you afraid. Pain taught you to expect worst-case scenarios. So now you try to predict every problem before it happens, because part of you believes constant worry will somehow protect you. But worry cannot protect you. Worry only steals peace from the present moment. How many beautiful moments have you missed because your mind was trapped in fear about tomorrow? How many nights did anxiety steal your sleep while you imagined disasters that never even happened? How many times did you emotionally exhaust yourself trying to control things completely outside your hands? My child, you cannot heal while constantly living in survival mode. Your spirit was never created to carry non-stop emotional pressure. Yet many of you listening tonight are mentally exhausted because your mind never truly rests. Even during quiet moments, your thoughts continue racing. You replay conversations repeatedly. You analyze every possibility endlessly. You overthink every uncertain situation. And slowly, overthinking became a prison for your peace. But tonight, I am calling you out of that prison. You do not need every answer right now to move forward. You do not need complete certainty before taking the next step. And you do not need to control every detail in order for your future to still become beautiful. Faith requires trust. And trust requires surrender. I know surrender feels uncomfortable because it makes you feel vulnerable. You fear disappointment. You fear failure. You fear being hurt again. But trying to control everything is already hurting you deeply. Look at how exhausted your spirit has become. Look at how heavy your thoughts feel lately. Look at how difficult it has become for you to truly relax emotionally. The pressure is crushing your peace. And tonight, I need you to finally release what was never yours to carry alone. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the need for every answer immediately. Release the pressure to make everyone happy. Release the obsession with controlling outcomes. You cannot fully control anyway. Some things can only heal when they are finally placed into my hands. You keep asking me for peace while refusing to loosen your grip on fear. But peace grows where surrender begins. Not surrender to hopelessness, surrender to trust. Trust that I can guide you even when the future feels unclear. Trust that I can protect you even when uncertainty exists. Trust that I can open doors at the right time without your constant panic and overthinking. You are exhausting yourself, trying to predict every possible pain before it happens. But not every future moment carries disaster. Not every chapter ahead carries heartbreak. Not every new beginning ends in disappointment. Fear keeps teaching you to expect destruction everywhere because fear wants your heart trapped in survival instead of peace. But I want something greater for you. I want freedom for your mind, freedom for your emotions, freedom from constantly carrying invisible pressure. Some of you listening tonight feel responsible for everybody around you. You feel guilty resting. You feel guilty saying no. You feel guilty protecting your emotional health. And because of that guilt, you continue carrying burdens that slowly crush your spirit. But hear me carefully. You are not responsible for fixing every person in your life. You are not responsible for carrying everybody's emotional weight. And you are not failing simply because you cannot control every situation around you. Some battles belong to me, not to you. And until you learn to release what only I can handle, your soul will continue feeling exhausted. You were never meant to carry the entire world on your shoulders. You were only meant to walk faithfully one step at a time. That is enough. One peaceful decision at a time, one surrendered prayer at a time, one faithful step at a time. Stop trying to figure out your entire future overnight. Life unfolds gradually. Healing unfolds gradually. Growth unfolds gradually. And sometimes clarity only arrives after obedience, not before. You keep waiting to feel fully confident before moving forward. But confidence often grows after the step is taken, not before. Do not let fear paralyze your future. Do not let overthinking delay your healing. Do not let anxiety steal years of your life worrying about things you cannot control anyway. There is still beauty ahead of you, still peace ahead of you, still purpose ahead of you. And your future does not depend on your ability to control everything perfectly. Your future rests safely in hands stronger than your fear. Tonight, I need you to rest your heart again. Rest your mind again. Rest your spirit again. Not because every problem disappeared instantly, but because you are finally realizing you do not have to fight every battle alone anymore. I am still guiding you, still protecting you, still opening doors at the right time, and still making a way even when you cannot yet fully see it. If you are ready tonight to stop carrying the pressure of controlling everything, type, "I release what I cannot control," in the comments, and continue staying until the end, because these messages are meant to calm your spirit, strengthen your faith, and help you walk through life with deeper peace and emotional freedom. Never forget this tonight. You do not need to carry every burden alone. You do not need every answer immediately, and you can finally let your heart rest in my hands again. Tonight, I want to speak to the hidden pain inside you. Not the pain you show publicly, not the version of yourself people think they understand. I am speaking to the quiet ache you carry deep inside your heart, the sadness you hide behind busy schedules, the exhaustion you disguise with forced smiles, the emotional wounds you rarely talk about because you are tired of explaining how much they hurt. I see that part of you clearly, and I need you to know tonight that your hidden pain matters to me. Some of you listening right now have become experts at pretending to be strong, pretending to be okay, pretending that certain words, memories, and betrayals no longer affect you. But deep inside, your heart still aches. And because you became so used to surviving, you stopped realizing how deeply wounded you still are emotionally. My child, healing does not begin with pretending. Healing begins with honesty. You cannot heal pain you continue hiding from. You cannot restore peace while ignoring the wounds damaging your spirit internally. And you cannot truly move forward while silently carrying years of unprocessed heartbreak inside you. I know there are memories that still hurt when they return unexpectedly. I know there are moments from your past that still make your chest feel heavy. I know there are disappointments you thought you healed from, only to realize the wound still exists underneath the surface. But tonight, I need you to stop condemning yourself for still needing healing. Healing is not weakness. Healing is courage. Real courage is facing pain honestly instead of burying it endlessly. Some of you became emotionally numb because life hurt too many times in a row. You stopped opening your heart fully because betrayal taught you to stay guarded. You stopped trusting easily because disappointment made vulnerability feel dangerous. You stopped expecting good things because heartbreak trained your mind to prepare for loss instead. But listen carefully tonight. Your heart was not created to stay frozen forever. You were created to feel peace again, to feel joy again, to experience love without constantly expecting destruction. And although healing feels slow sometimes, healing is already happening inside you, even now. Every time you choose peace instead of chaos, healing grows. Every time you stop attacking yourself mentally, healing grows. Every time you walk away from unhealthy cycles, healing grows. Every time you allow yourself to rest emotionally, healing grows. Do not overlook small healing simply because your scars still exist. Scars do not mean healing failed. Scars often become proof that healing survived. The enemy wants you ashamed of your emotional struggles, ashamed of your anxiety, ashamed of your sadness, ashamed of your need for healing. Because shame keeps people hiding, and hidden wounds continue growing in darkness. But tonight, I am calling your pain into the light, not to expose you, but to heal you. You do not have to keep pretending everything is okay with me. I already know the truth about what you carry internally. I know how tired your spirit feels sometimes. I know there are nights when loneliness suddenly overwhelms you. I know there are moments when fear quietly returns without warning. And I know there are days when you feel emotionally exhausted even though you cannot fully explain why. You are carrying years of emotional weight. Of course, your heart became tired. Stop judging yourself harshly for needing rest. Stop condemning yourself because healing takes time. Some wounds heal slowly because they cut deeply, but slow healing is still healing. Do not give up on yourself during the process. There are people listening tonight who secretly feel broken beyond repair. You wonder whether peace will ever fully return again. You wonder whether trust will ever feel safe again. You wonder whether your heart will ever feel whole again. And tonight, I need you to hear me clearly. Yes, healing is still possible for you. Not because your pain was small, but because my ability to restore is greater than the wounds life created inside you. You are not too damaged, not too far gone, not too emotionally exhausted to begin rebuilding again. Some of the most beautiful growth in your life will come after the hardest seasons you survived. And one day you will realize that your pain produced compassion, wisdom, and strength you could not have developed any other way. Nothing you endured was wasted. Not your tears, not your heartbreak, not your lonely nights, not your silent battles. I was present through all of it. And even when you felt abandoned emotionally, I was still holding you together quietly behind the scenes. Tonight, I want you to stop running from your healing. Stop numbing your pain with distractions. Stop pretending you are fine when your soul is exhausted. Bring your heart honestly before me. Bring the sadness. Bring the anger. Bring the confusion. Bring the disappointment. You do not need polished words. You do not need perfect prayers. You only need honesty. Because honesty is where restoration begins. And restoration is already unfolding inside your life even now. Little by little, your heart is softening again. Little by little, peace is returning again. Little by little, hope is rising again. That is not weakness. That is healing happening. If you are ready tonight to stop hiding your pain and allow healing to begin fully, type, "My heart is healing," in the comments. And if these messages are helping bring peace and restoration into your life, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need encouragement tonight. And if you feel blessed by these words and want to support this ministry, the support link is available below so more hurting hearts can continue receiving hope, healing, and peace. Stay until the end of this journey, because the next messages will continue guiding you toward emotional freedom, strength, and deeper restoration. Never forget this tonight. I see the pain nobody else sees. I understand the battles nobody else understands, and I am still healing your heart one step at a time. Tonight I need you to hold on to hope again, because many of you have been standing in front of closed doors for so long that you started believing nothing would ever change. You prayed, you waited, you trusted, yet opportunities still seemed delayed. Breakthrough still seemed distant. And slowly, discouragement began whispering that maybe your prayers were being ignored. But hear me carefully tonight. I have not forgotten a single prayer you cried through tears. Not one. I heard every desperate moment, every late-night conversation, every silent cry your heart could not even fully explain with words. And even while you felt unseen, I was still working behind the scenes. My child, some doors remain closed temporarily because preparation is still happening, not punishment. Preparation. You keep asking for breakthrough while your spirit is still healing from battles that nearly broke you. You keep asking for open doors while I am strengthening your heart to carry what is coming next. Because if certain blessings arrive too early, they would overwhelm you instead of helping you. Timing matters more than you realize. I know you are tired of waiting, tired of uncertainty, tired of feeling like life keeps moving for everyone else while you remain standing still. But you are not standing still. Growth is happening even in seasons where nothing seems visible externally. Roots are growing underground. Strength is developing quietly. Wisdom is forming inside your spirit. And one day the growth happening invisibly now will become visible in ways you cannot imagine yet. You keep focusing on what has not happened yet, the relationship that did not work, the opportunity that did not arrive, the answer that still feels delayed. But tonight, I need you to notice how much protection already exists inside your story. There were places you wanted to go that would have destroyed your peace. There were people you begged to keep who secretly would have broken your spirit further. There were opportunities that looked exciting but carried hidden pain behind them. And because you could not see the danger ahead, you called certain closed doors rejection, when in reality, many of those closed doors were rescue. I know disappointment made your heart tired. I know repeated waiting tested your faith. But hear me clearly tonight. A delayed blessing is still possible. A delayed answer is still possible. A delayed breakthrough is still possible. Nothing about your future is hopeless. The enemy wants you discouraged, because discouragement weakens expectation. And when people stop expecting good things, they stop preparing their hearts for possibility. But tonight, I need you to expect again. Expect peace again. Expect healing again. Expect restoration again. Expect opportunities again. Not because life suddenly becomes easy overnight, but because I am still writing your story. And your story is not over. Some of you listening tonight have secretly settled emotionally. You stopped dreaming because disappointment hurt too deeply. You stopped believing because waiting became exhausting. You stopped expecting breakthrough because repeated delays convinced you to protect your heart from future pain. But hopelessness is not protecting you. It is imprisoning you. Fear keeps trying to convince you that expecting good things only leads to disappointment. But faith requires hope. And hope is beginning to rise again inside you even now. That stirring in your spirit while listening tonight is not accidental. It is your heart remembering that your future still carries purpose. You did not survive everything just to remain trapped in despair forever. There is more ahead of you, more healing, more peace, more wisdom, more growth, more joy, and yes, more open doors. But some doors only open after inner healing begins, because external blessings cannot heal internal wounds. Some of you thought success would fix your emptiness. You thought relationships would erase loneliness. You thought achievements would finally bring lasting peace. But peace rooted only in circumstances never lasts long. That is why I have been healing you internally first. Because the strongest peace comes from knowing who walks beside you, even when life feels uncertain. And I have been walking beside you this entire time, even during your waiting season. Even during your confusion, even during the moments when you thought nothing was changing, I was still guiding your steps quietly. The future ahead of you requires courage. It requires wisdom. It requires emotional maturity. And those qualities are developing inside you right now through this process. Do not hate the season that is preparing you. Preparation seasons often feel lonely because growth is happening internally before it becomes visible externally. But hidden growth still matters deeply. The tree does not become strong overnight, and neither do people. Strong foundations take time, and your foundation is becoming stronger than you realize. Some of you are one decision away from a completely different chapter in life, one healed mindset away, one surrendered fear away, one act of obedience away. Do not underestimate how quickly life can change once the right season arrives. Doors can open suddenly, healing can accelerate suddenly, opportunities can appear suddenly. The waiting season may feel long, but breakthrough moments often happen faster than expected once preparation is complete. So tonight, I need you to stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Stop assuming the story ends here. Stop believing your best days are already behind you, because they are not. There are still beautiful chapters waiting ahead for your life. And even now, while you feel uncertain, I am still opening doors you cannot yet see from where you stand. Trust me in the process. Trust me in the waiting. Trust me while healing continues unfolding inside your spirit. Because what is ahead of you is greater than what tried to break you. If you still believe better days are coming, type, "My breakthrough is near," in the comments tonight. And continue staying until the end, because these messages are meant to strengthen your spirit, restore your hope, and remind you that your future is still filled with peace, purpose, and possibility. Never forget this tonight. Closed doors are not the end of your story. The right door will open at the right time, and I am still preparing beautiful things ahead for your life. Tonight, I need you to hear this with your whole heart. It is not too late for you. Not too late to heal. Not too late to change. Not too late to rebuild your life. Not too late to find peace again. I know some of you listening tonight secretly believe you ruined too much already. You replay old mistakes constantly. You think about opportunities you lost. You remember moments you wish you could undo. And shame keeps whispering that you are too far gone now. But shame is lying to you. Your past may explain your pain, but it does not have permission to define your future forever. My child, I never asked you to become perfect before coming back to me. I never required flawless performance before offering grace. Yet many of you keep delaying your healing because you believe you must first fix yourself completely. You think you need to become stronger first, better first, more disciplined first, more worthy first. But listen carefully tonight. Healing does not begin after perfection. Healing begins after surrender. The moment you stop hiding, the moment you stop pretending, the moment you finally admit you are tired of carrying everything alone, that is where restoration begins. I know there are parts of your story you rarely speak about. Choices you regret deeply, habits you feel ashamed of, moments when you disappointed yourself, moments when you became someone you barely recognized. And because of those memories, you quietly started believing you no longer deserve peace. But hear me clearly tonight. Your mistakes are not stronger than my mercy. Your failures are not stronger than my ability to restore. And your story is not ruined beyond repair. Some of the people listening tonight feel spiritually exhausted because guilt has been crushing their hearts for years. You keep reliving old chapters mentally. You keep condemning yourself daily. And every time you do, shame steals more hope from your future. But constant self-punishment will never heal your soul. You cannot hate yourself into becoming whole. You cannot shame yourself into peace. And you cannot rebuild your life while remaining emotionally chained to your past forever. At some point, healing requires forgiveness. Not pretending the pain never happened, not excusing harmful choices, but releasing the belief that your worst moments deserve endless punishment. You have suffered enough already. Now it is time to heal. I know starting over feels scary, because beginning again requires humility. It requires vulnerability. It requires trusting that change is still possible, even after disappointment. But starting over is not failure. Sometimes beginning again is the bravest thing a person can do. Some of you are standing in the middle of life feeling lost because the old version of you no longer fits, but the new version of you is still developing. And that in-between season feels uncomfortable. You are outgrowing old habits, outgrowing unhealthy relationships, outgrowing mindsets rooted in fear. But growth often feels confusing before clarity fully arrives. Do not panic during the transition season. Transformation is happening even when it feels messy. The enemy wants you believing that one bad season destroyed your future permanently. But I specialize in restoration. I bring beauty from brokenness, wisdom from pain, strength from weakness, and purpose from places people thought were ruined forever. Nothing about your life is beyond my ability to rebuild. Some of the strongest people you admire today were once emotionally shattered too. The difference is they chose not to stay trapped there forever. And tonight, I'm asking you to make that same decision. Do not stay imprisoned in guilt. Do not stay buried beneath shame. Do not stay emotionally trapped in chapters I already carried you through. There is still life ahead of you, still joy ahead of you, still healing ahead of you, still purpose ahead of you. You are not disqualified because you struggled. You are not disqualified because you failed sometimes. You are not disqualified because life became messy. Human weakness never shocked me. I already knew every chapter of your story before you lived it, and I still chose to love you completely. That truth alone should change the way you see yourself tonight. You are not fighting for love. You are already loved. Now it is time to start living like someone worthy of healing, instead of someone trapped in endless shame. Stop speaking over your future as if destruction is guaranteed. Stop assuming you will always remain broken. Stop identifying yourself by old versions of who you used to be. People grow, people heal, people change, and you are changing too. Even now, while listening tonight, something inside you is softening again. Hope is returning again. Faith is rising again. That is not weakness. That is restoration beginning. Do not run from it. Do not sabotage your own healing because fear tells you change will not last. You deserve peace too. You deserve emotional freedom too. You deserve a future that is not controlled by past pain forever. And I am leading you toward that future step by step. The process may feel slow sometimes. Healing may feel uncomfortable sometimes. But every honest step forward matters deeply. One day you will look back and realize this moment became the turning point. The moment you finally stopped agreeing with hopelessness. The moment you finally believed your life could still become beautiful again. And it can. If you are ready tonight to let go of shame and begin again, type, "I am ready to heal" in the comments. And stay until the end because these messages are meant to strengthen your spirit, restore your confidence, and remind you that your story is far from over. Never forget this tonight. You are not too broken. You are not too late. And you are never too far gone for restoration to begin. Tonight, I need you to remember something your pain made you forget. The storm did not come to destroy you. I know it felt that way sometimes. When everything changed suddenly, when prayers seemed unanswered, when people you trusted disappointed you, when life became heavier than you expected. There were moments when you truly believed you would not recover emotionally. Moments when the pressure felt unbearable. Moments when your heart became so exhausted that even hope felt difficult to hold on to. But look at you now. You survived every storm that once convinced you your life was falling apart forever. You survived heartbreak. You survived rejection. You survived sleepless nights filled with fear. You survived seasons of loneliness nobody else fully understood. And even though you still carry scars, you are still standing. That matters more than you realize. My child, storms reveal strength people never knew they carried inside themselves. Before this difficult season, you underestimated your resilience. You underestimated your ability to endure pain and still keep moving forward. You underestimated how much strength I already placed inside your spirit. But now you are beginning to see it. Not because the process was easy, but because survival revealed what comfort never could. Some of you listening tonight became stronger in ways you never asked for. Pain forced maturity into your life. Disappointment forced discernment into your life. Heartbreak forced wisdom into your life. And although those lessons hurt deeply, they are shaping the future version of you right now. The enemy wanted the storm to destroy your faith completely, to make you bitter, to make you hopeless, to make you stop believing your future could still become beautiful. But the fact that you are still listening tonight means something important. You are still searching for healing, still searching for peace, still searching for truth. That means darkness did not win. You may feel tired. You may still have questions, but your spirit is still fighting for healing, and I am still strengthening you through every difficult chapter. I know there were moments when you felt abandoned during the storm, moments when silence made you wonder where I was, but silence never meant absence. I was still beside you in every painful moment. I was there when you cried alone. I was there when anxiety overwhelmed your thoughts. I was there when your heart broke quietly behind closed doors. And I was carrying you even in moments when you could not feel my presence clearly. Pain often clouds perception. When hearts are hurting deeply, people sometimes mistake silence for abandonment. But I never left you, not once. There were things protecting you behind the scenes that you could not see. There were dangers you avoided without even realizing it. There were moments grace held your life together while you felt emotionally weak. You survived because I sustained you. And now the same strength that carried you through the storm will carry you into healing too. Some of you listening tonight secretly fear another storm coming. You struggle to relax emotionally because pain trained your nervous system to constantly expect disaster. Even during peaceful moments, part of you stays guarded. Part of you waits for something to go wrong. But hear me carefully tonight. You cannot fully heal while constantly living in fear of future pain. Not every season ahead carries destruction. Not every new beginning ends in heartbreak. Not every open door leads to disappointment. Fear wants you emotionally trapped in survival mode forever, because fearful hearts struggle to enjoy peace fully. But I want something greater for you than survival. I want freedom. Freedom from constant anxiety. Freedom from emotional exhaustion. Freedom from believing your future is doomed because your past was painful. You are not meant to remain trapped in storm mentality forever. The storm passed. And although healing takes time afterward, calmer seasons are still possible for your life. Some of the strongest people are not those who never suffered. They are the ones who suffered deeply, yet still chose not to become bitter. And tonight, I need you to keep choosing healing over bitterness. Keep choosing faith over hopelessness. Keep choosing peace over fear. Because your story still carries purpose beyond this painful chapter. One day you will realize the storm developed compassion inside you, wisdom inside you, strength inside you. And those qualities will help other hurting people heal too. Nothing you survived was meaningless. Even your pain carries future purpose. That is why the enemy fought your peace so aggressively. Because your healing will eventually become part of someone else's survival story too. You are becoming stronger than you realize. More resilient than you realize, more emotionally wise than you realize. And even now, while you still feel uncertain sometimes, I am rebuilding your confidence quietly step by step. Do not rush the process. Do not condemn yourself, because healing still feels incomplete. Storm recovery takes time, but recovery is already happening. Little by little, your heart is learning to trust again. Little by little, your spirit is learning to rest again. Little by little, hope is returning again. And one day you will wake up realizing peace no longer feels impossible. Because healing truly happened. Tonight, I need you to stop calling yourself weak simply because you were wounded. You survived battles many people never even saw, and survival required enormous strength. Honor how far you have already come. You are not who you used to be. The storm changed you, but it did not destroy you. If you still believe peace is possible after everything you survived, type, "The storm did not defeat me," in the comments tonight, and continue staying until the end, because these messages are meant to strengthen your spirit, rebuild your hope, and remind you that healing is still unfolding inside your life. Never forget this tonight. The storm came, but you survived. And I am still leading you toward peace beyond the pain. Tonight, I need you to stop believing that all the painful years behind you were wasted forever. I know there are moments when you look back at your life and feel grief over time you cannot get back. You think about opportunities you missed, relationships that failed, seasons where fear controlled you, years spent carrying anxiety, heartbreak, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. And sometimes you quietly wonder if too much damage has already been done. But hear me carefully tonight. Nothing surrendered into my hands is ever wasted. Not your pain, not your waiting, not your mistakes, not even the years you spent feeling lost. I am still able to restore what life tried to steal from you. My child, you keep measuring your future through the lens of your past disappointments. Because certain seasons hurt so deeply, part of you started believing your best years were already gone. But your life is not over, because some chapters were painful. You are still growing, still learning, still becoming, and there is still beauty ahead of you that your current emotions cannot fully imagine yet. I know regret has weighed heavily on your heart. You replay moments constantly, thinking about what could have been different, wondering how life might look now if you had made other choices. But living trapped in regret only keeps your spirit emotionally chained to yesterday. You cannot move forward while constantly trying to relive the past mentally. At some point, healing requires release, not denial, not pretending pain never happened, but accepting that the story continues beyond the painful chapter. You are not defined forever by what went wrong. Some of you listening tonight feel behind in life. You compare your timeline to everyone around you. You see people succeeding while you still feel like you are rebuilding from emotional ruins. You see people celebrating while you are still healing silently. And comparison keeps convincing you that you missed your chance somehow. But listen carefully. You are not behind my timing for your life. Healing seasons are not wasted seasons. Waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. Learning seasons are not wasted seasons. Even the painful years carried lessons that are shaping your future right now. The wisdom you carry today came through survival. The discernment you carry today came through disappointment. The compassion you carry today came through pain. Nothing you survived was meaningless. Even your tears produce growth inside your spirit. You keep focusing on the years pain took from you while ignoring the strength those years developed inside you. Before those difficult seasons, you trusted too quickly, ignored warning signs too easily, allowed people to damage your peace repeatedly. But now wisdom is growing inside you. Discernment is growing inside you. Boundaries are growing inside you. And those things will protect your future in ways you cannot yet fully see. The enemy wants you grieving your past forever, because regret steals hope for the future. But tonight, I need you to stop calling yourself ruined. You are rebuilding. There is a difference. Rebuilding takes time, and rebuilding often feels messy before beauty becomes visible again. But something beautiful is still being built inside your life. Even now, you may feel emotionally tired sometimes. You may still carry scars from what happened. But scars do not mean restoration is impossible. Scars often become proof that healing survived. Some of the strongest people carry scars nobody else can see. And you are stronger than you realize. You survived things that once convinced you your life would completely collapse. Yet here you are, still searching for peace, still searching for healing, still moving forward. Even when progress feels slow, that is resilience. And resilience matters deeply. I know some of you feel frustrated because healing did not happen as quickly as you hoped. You expected peace to arrive overnight. You expected heartbreak to disappear instantly. You expected restoration to feel easier. But deep healing takes time because deep wounds cut deeply. Do not become discouraged by gradual healing. Slow restoration is still restoration. And even now, while you feel uncertain, your heart is becoming stronger than before. One day you will look back and realize this painful chapter created wisdom you desperately needed for the future ahead. You will understand why certain doors closed, why certain relationships ended, why certain delays happened. And although you may never fully understand every painful moment, you will recognize that I never abandoned you inside them. I was rebuilding you quietly all along. There are still beautiful things waiting ahead for you. Still meaningful connections ahead. Still opportunities ahead. Still peace ahead. Still laughter ahead. Do not let regret blind you to the beauty still possible in your future. The story is not over, and your best moments are not automatically behind you simply because life became painful for a while. I restore broken things. I rebuild exhausted hearts. I breathe hope back into discouraged spirits. And tonight, I am breathing hope back into yours again. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. And you are not disqualified from joy because you survived difficult seasons. Your future still matters deeply. Now stop speaking over your life as if the story already ended in defeat. There is still purpose attached to your journey. Still healing unfolding. Still restoration coming. And one day, the years you thought were lost will become part of the testimony that helps someone else survive their own painful season too. Nothing is wasted when healing enters the story. If you still believe restoration is possible for your life, type, "My story is not over," in the comments tonight. And if these messages are helping restore hope inside your spirit, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need encouragement tonight. And if you feel blessed by these words and want to support this ministry, the support link is available below so more hurting hearts can continue receiving peace, healing, and hope. Stay until the end of this journey, because the final message ahead will remind you why your future still carries deep purpose and promise. Never forget this tonight. The painful years were not wasted. I am still restoring your life, and the best chapters of your story are still being written. Tonight, before this journey ends, I need you to hear my voice one more time with an open heart. You made it this far for a reason, not by accident, not by luck. You are still here because your story is not finished yet. I know there were moments when you almost gave up completely. Moments when the pain felt heavier than your strength. Moments when fear convinced you that nothing ahead could possibly become better than what was behind you. But look at everything you survived. Look at how many times life tried to break your spirit completely, yet somehow you kept moving forward. You are stronger than you realize. And the strength inside you did not come from nowhere. I was carrying you through every dark season, even when you could not feel my presence clearly. My child, tonight, I need you to stop calling yourself defeated. You have been wounded, yes. You have been disappointed, yes. You have cried more tears than most people know, yes. But defeated? No. A defeated person would have stopped searching for healing a long time ago. A defeated person would have surrendered completely to hopelessness. But you kept going, even when your heart felt tired, even when answers felt delayed, even when peace felt distant. You kept searching for light, and that matters more than you understand. The enemy wanted your pain to convince you that your future was ruined forever, wanted heartbreak to harden your spirit, wanted fear to silence your purpose, wanted disappointment to bury your hope permanently. But you are still here listening tonight, still breathing, still fighting, still believing that healing is possible somewhere deep inside your heart. That means darkness did not win. I know there are still areas of your life that feel unfinished, still questions without answers, still wounds healing slowly, still prayers waiting to unfold. But unfinished does not mean hopeless. The story is still moving forward, and some of the most beautiful chapters are still ahead of you. There is peace coming that anxiety cannot steal. There is healing coming that pain cannot stop. There is joy coming that your current sadness cannot fully imagine yet. And there is purpose inside your life that no failure, no heartbreak, and no painful season could destroy. You have spent too much time believing your weakness disqualified you. But weakness often becomes the place where deeper strength begins growing. You learned compassion because you experienced pain. You learned wisdom because you survived disappointment. You learned discernment because betrayal taught you what unhealthy love looks like. Nothing you survived was meaningless. Every painful chapter shaped something valuable inside you. And one day, your story will help another hurting person realize they can survive too. The tears mattered, the waiting mattered, the healing mattered. All of it carried purpose. Even the nights you thought nobody understood your pain, I was still there beside you. I heard every silent prayer. I saw every hidden tear. I felt every moment your heart nearly collapsed beneath pressure. And I never once abandoned you. Not once. Tonight I need you to release the belief that you must carry your future alone. You were never meant to walk through life isolated from peace, hope, and guidance. You were always meant to walk with me, not only during emergencies, not only during heartbreak, but daily, moment by moment, step by step, because peace grows where connection grows. And tonight, I am calling you closer again, closer to healing, closer to trust, closer to the life I have been preparing your heart for all along. Do not return to the hopelessness I already helped you survive. Do not rebuild the emotional prison you are finally escaping. Do not keep speaking defeat over a future. I am still restoring. Your life still carries promise. There are still people waiting to experience the wisdom your story will carry. Still opportunities waiting to arrive. Still beautiful moments waiting ahead. Still prayers waiting to unfold in the right season. And one day, you will look back at this painful chapter and realize it was not the ending. It was the transformation season. The season where your spirit became stronger. The season where your heart learned wisdom. The season where healing quietly began rebuilding your life from the inside out. Do not rush the process. Do not condemn yourself for still healing. And do not lose hope just because everything has not fully changed yet. Small healing still matters. Quiet progress still matters. One peaceful step at a time still matters. You are becoming stronger than your fears realize. And even now, while you listen tonight, peace is growing inside you again. That heaviness you carried for so long is beginning to loosen. That hopelessness is beginning to weaken. That fear is beginning to lose control over your thoughts. Because healing has already started. And healing will continue as long as you keep choosing truth over fear, peace over chaos, and hope over hopelessness. Tonight, I simply want you to remember this. You survived for a reason. You are still deeply loved. And your future is still filled with purpose. If this message touched your heart tonight, type, "I will keep moving forward," in the comments as a declaration over your life. And if this entire journey brought peace, encouragement, and healing into your heart, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need these words tonight. And if you feel blessed by these messages and want to support this ministry, the support link is available below so more hearts around the world can continue receiving hope, restoration, and peace. Thank you for staying until the end of this journey. Never forget this truth. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. And this is not the end of your story.